So what we now want to do is to actually allow the player to find this. So we are going to make a tool. We're going to call this treasure anchor. And this tool, we can add some random parts into there if we want, but it is not that important. If we want this, we can just call it handle the part. And I'm just gonna say that it's kind of shaped like some type of a very crude map. You can design this however you want. I've made a tutorial on how you can make multi-part tools. But what we do need is we need a GUI. So we are going to head over to starter GUI and insert a screen GUI. And we are going to call this screen GUI map GUI. And I'm just going to insert a text label, which I am going to make 0.5 comma 0.3 comma, so that is about that size. I'm going to make the anchor point 0.5, and it's positioned at around the center of the x-axis and somewhere further down on the y-axis. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to make the text bold, rich, and scaled, and I'm going to make the background transparent. And then I'm going to insert this GUI into the treasure anchor tool. Something we additionally need is a local script, and then what we want to do is so that that our chest is only collectible if you have one of these treasure anchors. So we're going to say here, right after the detector, if plr.backpack : find first child treasure anchor, then I'm going to indent the whole rest of the code and add an end at the end, so that should work. Now what we can try is play this game. Play the game. Trigger this chest to spawn. Now, right now, if we click this chest, we do not get any loot and it doesn't disappear. If we collect the treasure anchor and click the chest, then this functions. Okay, now we want to make so that the player can only collect the treasure if he has the adjacent treasure anchor to it. So what we are going to do is we are going to have to set up a sort of ID system. So we're in the map module going to write as start major variable local map IDs, and then we're going to write in MakeMap we're going to say map IDs equals to game.ServerStorage. And then in the server storage we're going to insert a folder which we are going to call registered map IDs. And then here back at the script, map IDs equals to game.ServerStorage dot registered map IDs get children. Now after us adding the chest, we're going to say local val equals to instance.new int value. Something we also in the folder have to do is insert an int value, and we can just leave it at that. We have to create also a variable local last ID equals to map IDs square brackets table dot maxn map IDs. So this is going to just return the highest value so that we know what the most recent ID is, and then we're going to, after the declaration of the int value val, we're going to say val dot value equals to last ID dot value plus 1, val dot parent equals to game.ServerStorage dot registered map IDs. Now this just creates an ID for every chest there is, but the chest will not be related to this ID. So what we are going to need to do is additionally make that there is an adjacent map to this. So we're going to make that in our treasure anchor we have to insert an int value which we're going to call ID, And we're also going to insert this into the map GUI, because that currently does not function yet. Something we're now going to do is we are in the map module after the declaration of last ID. Chest.id.value equals to last ID.value plus 1. That the chest is now going to be set in correlation to this ID. And now we only have to make so that the treasure anchor also knows that it's got something to do with this ID. So we are going to say local map temp equals to game.replicated storage. We have to insert the treasure anchor into replicated storage. And so your game.replicated storage dot treasure anchor clone map temp dot id dot value equals to last ID dot value plus 1. Map temp dot parent equals to plr dot backpack map temp dot map GUI dot last dot ID dot value equals to last ID dot value plus 1. So this is going to make that in this treasure anchor, everything is going to say, oh yeah, the ID also belongs to this. And now we have to, in the script for the chest, actually make that it only works if you have the correct treasure anchor, which is going to be fairly simple. All we have to do is we have to insert another if statement. If plr.backpack.treasure anchor, which we know is going to be here because we're checking if it's here, dot id dot value equals a script dot parent dot id dot value. Then I'm going to indent most of our code again and add an end at the end. Something we might also have to do is we have to make sure that we have an ID value in the chest as well. And now only if we actually have the correct treasure anchor we're going to get the loot. Something we now have to do is for the player to lose this treasure anchor again, because else he'd have at some point so many treasure anchors without them ever going away. So we're going to say plr.backpack.treasure anchor :destroy. That's basically it for the chest. Now comes the local script we added for in our tool, where this is going to just make so that the map GUI that tells the player where to find the map is actually visible when he is in the tool, when he's equipped the tool. So we're just going to say script.parent.equipped::connect function, and we're going to also say script.parent.unequipped::connect function. In the equipped, we'll do local GUI equals to script.parent.mapGUI::clone UI.parent equals to game.players.localPlayer.playerGUI. And in the unequipped, we're going to just add the variable local GUI equals to game.players.localPlayer.playerGUI: find first child map GUI, and then we're just going to say GUI: destroy. Also, we have to wrap that into if GUI then GUI: destroy end. Now this is going to insert the GUI into the player. We can actually test this out right now. So if we go onto the server to trigger our treasure chest command, then yes, we get a treasure anchor, and yes, it inserts a label. Now we can open the chest because we have the treasure anchor. If we fire this again and we throw away the treasure anchor, then we cannot get the loot inside the chest. We can pick it up and then we can. Perfect. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that is inside of our map GUI, insert a local script and say local chest, and then while wait do for I possible chest in pairs workspace : get children do, and then we're going to say if possible chest dot name equals to chest, then if possible chest dot id dot value, which we can be sure is there because its name is chest, equals to script dot parent dot id dot value. That's why we also insert the same ID into the GUI. Then we're just going to say chest equals to possible chest, and then all we have to do is, after the for loop is still in the while wait, we have to do script dot parent dot text label dot text equals to, in quotation marks, studs colon space, and after the quotation marks dot math dot round brackets, and then in these brackets game dot players dot local player dot character dot humanoid root part dot position minus chest dot position, and then after the first bracket dot magnitude, and that should be it. Now this treasure anchor is going to display how far you are away from the next chest, to the chest that the treasure anchor belongs to. Let's see if that works. Currently it's displaying how many studs we are away. 60, 66. Like this we can see we are getting closer, which is perfect. And then when we arrive, we can get something out of it. And as we can see, this also works if we have a lot of different chests. Like, we can see this treasure anchor. Okay, it apparently belongs to this chest. We can open it. Yeah, there was one somewhere in there. Oh gosh, we can't really even get it. Okay, well, there's one like 50 studs away. Over here, yeah, 8. Oh gosh, the same problem over here. 50 studs. Yeah, over here. And now we can... This should work. Okay, let's try that with a little less chests this time. Might have been the problem. But this treasure anchor shows us the way over here. Get the result. This time, let's see, use it twice. As we can see, this treasure anchor tells us to go here, and this one over here. Now, if we throw this one out, we still have a treasure anchor, but we cannot get this chest. If we throw this one out, but collect this one, can get this chest, run over here, and collect it. Perfect.